And we're back. I am like 10 minutes in, and all I've done is die like 3 times, and turns out my mic's been off the whole time, so... okay. Because I keep freaking dying. I don't want to turn down difficulty yet, even though I'm so freaking angry. But, okay. Liliana, okay, you using a crossbow is worthless to me right now, Lel. I'm sorry. Those bandits over there, I killed them. Then we died again. Then we reset. Then we started over. This is like my 4th reload on this stupid section. We go up there and there's apparently loads of Hurlocks, and it's just like, God damn it! I just want to move on.
Someone help us!
And I'm out of healing items, but where am I gonna find more? Nowhere. Actually, maybe there's more. Some at the merchant, but screw them.
As you wish.
Take out the ranged Hurlocks.
On my way.
Aim at the guy in front of you. Improved drain, okay. That wasn't what we were supposed to do. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is not how I wanted this to go. God damn it! Oh my freaking god! Okay. Let's just try this again. I don't freaking know. I don't care. God damn it. I'm so...
Someone help us! Right, all right.
Got a few healing items. What happened to the... Did they... How did this elder... Like, the Alpha Hurlock die? What happened there? Okay, whatever. I don't know how we killed that one this time, but fine, I'll take it, but I don't know what happened to it. Okay. Sorry, just so frustrating.
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
At least the one... I wasn't trying to save you. You're welcome.
Name's
Sorry.
Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here?
Sorry, it's so frustrating. Spent like 15 goddamn minutes just to get through this stupid, like... Okay.
Grey Wardens. My, that does rather explain a lot. No offense, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune, though.
Fair.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Just a second. Okay, sorry. Just like trying to help them. Taking these.
We'll be off as soon as this mess is
Hello.
cleaned up. Thank you kindly for all your assistance.
Okay. Sorry, trying to help them because it's important and we gotta go this way anyways. God damn it. Ugh, god damn it. So that's a side quest. Ugh. Okay, hold on, right, there's some quests we could finish. How do we craft? Right, that was a side quest they wanted us to do. Hold on. Yeah, I've saved a bunch of times over this. Okay, now that I know that's a quest, now it's like, okay, now I gotta do it. I completely forgot, but I don't know if that'll give us a level up, but...
Foolish creatures. I'll do it.
Draw them away.
What?
I shall do it.
I'll get on it.
Yeah, that's what happened. I get stunned and then I... was trying to get Alistair to back off, but... God damn it.
I see. Yes.
Back off, Lel.
As you like. Wipe them out. Lost me and you shall pay.
I'll make him run around. You get him.
I can't hold up. It's done. On my way. Your time to die.
There we go. Sorry, I had such a problem with them too. I mean, everyone still went down. Our boys are beaten up.
Was not pleasant.
Okay, but we beat up a bandit group, so now if we turn those in, I guess.
What?
Just like you wanted.
Oh, and that's not really worth messing with the inventory to pay that off, but fine. Feast day gifts? Oh. Suppose run back to town, see if we can turn in the mission. Ow. Sorry. It's so freaking frustrating. I know I brought this on my... Let's run back over just to check in and turn in the mission. You feel stupid if that was a level up. I didn't realize that was a mission, but whatever. Shut up. I don't... We're getting through. Not to be dour, just like, god damn it. I'm trying to put this on the same, like, playing field as Veilguard in a way, and I know how that sounds, but it's like playing on a comparable difficulty, trying to get it figured out, and it's just sort of like, ugh, I know I haven't messed around with tactics, but it's like, what's the point at this rate? We got so much more to do.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
The Pilgrim.
And Eileen spoke unto the masses, my hearth is yours, my... Let all...
He can't answer you. He's
A learned child is a...
Okay, whatever. When bears attack, last keepsake. Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to skip over the stuff. I'm just frustrated right now. Okay, so there are more quests here. How do we get, like, a long rest?
Lothering doesn't have any more beds for refugees, but they keep coming.
Have any luck finding herbs in the woods?
Apparently not, even though we
I
found
can do
some.
that for you. What now? It's done.
Alright, sorry. Trying to get Liliana to range attack along with Morgan, but she's still running up and attacking things up close with her bow and arrow. Morgan has her magic spells.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
It's a lot of wolves, but they do little damage, so we're fine, really. Corpse. This wasn't here a bit ago. Found a body of the boy's mother and have recovered her keepsake. Well, Alistair's leveled up.
I'll get on it.
Oh, God. Can we back off enough to save? We haven't even entered combat. They're not chasing us. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry, I checked. There's also like no like auto save after every couple of minutes thing or anything. Pretty sure there's not. Nope.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Right.
I never liked this boss. Here comes trouble.
All right. Now.
Don't tell me my health is... Hold on. Suppose I should put on a helmet, even though I think it looks dumb. Quest updated. I don't see anything, but I guess we did it. Okay. Sorry. Okay, we're doing little things. Sorry, I'm trying. Oh, I guess we turned into him.
Let him take notice and shine upon, and the all would.
Okay.
Let each look up. After his neighbor. He will
Okay.
be looked after.
So I guess we did the quests. And I guess we just got to get out to the open world. Okay, hold on. Ugh, sorry, just like a little frustrated. It's like, what the hell do we do? What are we... Trying to get to the point. Sorry, the gameplay's been frustrating. It's just like, I know I can mess with tactics, but it's just sort of like, well, we don't have that many abilities yet. It just... And we don't have good equipment. There's not much there. We just kind of like brute force for a little bit.
Hello.
We'll be off as soon as this mess is cleaned. Thank you kindly for all your...
I know there's DLC, yeah, feast day gifts, but I suppose we can't do that while they're picking stuff up, so I guess move on out.
What do you need?
Don't give me that. Grab the stupid...
Can I get you a...
Okay, sorry, we're getting somewhere, just slowly, just like... Get on out of here. Yeah, we need a healing ability. We need just like a few more level ups to really like get a leg up. Sorry, just getting frustrated with
Dreams.
combat. Why are you bothering me?
Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight. I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me, too.
I appreciate it.
That's
Just
what I'm here for.
in all sincerity,
Deliver
you're a good
unpleasant
bud.
news and witty one-liners. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
New quest, Enchantment. New quest, Soldier's Peak. King's Confidant. Okay, we're starting to get some DLC quests popping up. But yeah, now we can make camp and we can just check everybody out.
Why, you little... Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Teach that silly house lesson. Well, he is a war dog. That's hardly any blood drawn, but still, he shouldn't have. It's okay, boy. You just gotta be nice to him. He's alright.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me. I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Don't scare your lad. I'd never feed you another human
It's
being.
not cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
That's not the point. I don't need him to get a taste for it while we're sleeping.
Ugh, look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts. He means well. Can't be stinkier than what normally goes in. Jesus Christ. What? Sorry, some of these lines are like, Jesus, what? I think he thinks you need more meat on your bones, honestly.
I think I have enough meat where it counts, and I certainly don't need it in my pack. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There. And tell him not to
I should have
do
went
it
with like the
again.
top answer, where it's like, he means well. It was a gift.
I just did.
Come on, let's guilt trip her into
I
it.
don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
Oh, you hurt lad's feelings. I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Okay, again, this is like where, you know, everything comes together. Just like the camping and having conversations with everybody.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Just let them do their thing. Trying to find a way through the earth, are we? It's going to take some time, you know. Good luck with that, then. Just seeing if there's any more interactions. Pet lad. Good boy. Look at you, my big old mastiff. Alright, same interaction. Okay, have fun, lad. Okay, and I was gonna say, so we got, yeah, the dwarves now show up. I was gonna say, Morgan sets up her camp all the way over there.
It's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick, at your service once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
You're free to stay.
Wonderful. Thank the gentleman, won't you, boy?
Thank you, sir.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me. Something you need? I'm sure either my boy or I can help you out.
So what's your story exactly?
I suppose since you told me about you being a Grey Warden, it's only fitting for me to be as open. I am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Why did you leave?
One day, a noble
I saw the
woman
option
came to
for,
Bristol.
well, the short version will
She
do.
looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
Huh.
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost ties. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
Isn't that stealing? Well, it's grave robbing, but better to do something with them than leave them to rot, in a sense.
That's exactly how I see it. The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces.
I was gonna say, and what was it?
I don't know
Castless.
what
There's
they
a whole thing
planned
with the
for me.
dwarves, like
I didn't wanna
you
find
know,
out.
just like a
Bribed the
low
guard that was
rung,
watching
like the
me and
lowest
took
of
off
rung
with the
of
surface
dwarven
first
society is like the
opportunity I
castless, I think.
Never look back. I thank the stone every single day. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
Have you heard any
I
rumors?
hear that Logain, the regent, is calling for new levies of troops. He wants to rebuild the army we lost at Astagar. Thing is, there's not a lot of spare men to be found. Out of Dragon's Peak, there's press gangs roaming around, grabbing any free man they can lay their hands on. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. I hear news from Timmara that Logain has been declared the new regent. It makes sense, his daughter being the queen. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. I heard from some travelers that something bad might have happened in Redcliffe, overrun by Darkspawn, maybe. There's no word from the village at all. A merchant friend of mine said he encountered someone fleeing the place and there was nothing waiting for him there but death. He wisely turned around and came right back. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. Ah, yes.
Yeah, what about...
I'm married to a fine woman back in Timmara, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here, I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
That's nice.
Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
Blood isn't all that important. That was generous of you.
It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Is that Yuri Lowenthal?
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
That's something, you know, there is something, like, people remember these two, especially Sandal. You know, it's a, you know, I don't want, well, a meme to do, like, enchantments.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Dragon bone, Jesus, if only. Don't quite cut. Increase monetary gain? Is that just like from selling stuff, or?
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed. He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment.
And there you have it.
Enchantment.
Yeah, I don't think we got anything. It's interesting. What's...
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader?
No.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years.
I also
But
only
here
knew him
I
for like
am
2
carrying
days.
on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
In my service, it works out for me.
Well, as you know, my family's name is mud around noble circles.
I haven't heard
My
of you, so.
great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last warden commander of Ferelden back when the wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Olin banished the wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles. Hard to say. After King Olin died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one, and our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
So what favor did you ask of
Ask for
Duncan?
the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
Fair. I never even heard of Soldier's
Well,
Peak.
no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Ireland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
Why didn't Duncan help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good King Caelan. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostergar. Said there might be useful things at the peak.
I think that would have been
Never
something to
had a
check out
chance.
before then, but oh well. I will help.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
All right. History of the Drydens. Hold on. Oops.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this? I'm sure.
Oops. Don't know if that'll help me, but we'll use it. Let's see, who we want? Let's talk to Leliana.
Yes?
Hey there. I think you should go. I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
And I'm glad you are. This vision of
I
yours.
knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell. And the darkness drew me in.
You dreamed of the Blight.
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
I don't need the your maker interfering in my life. No, I am not a religious person, and it's like, oh yeah, Leliana was way into this. But, you know, and this is what made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight.
But I'm not
I
going
know
to put
that
her
you can do
down,
it.
because
There
no,
are
that's
so
not the
many
point.
good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
The blood is the Maker's punishment. Will you defy him?
I don't know. He made this world. He could destroy it. But there is so much worth saving. You're such a pessimist.
Sorry? Aw, disapproves. I'm sorry. I was just
Yes?
I was just making conversation.
Well, here I am. Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Yeah. They tend to be self-righteous.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
But you must earn the Maker's blessing. What did you
What
say?
can I say to them? What they believe is what the chantry says, and the chantry is infallible, yes? Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the chantry. But there is work
That's-
to be done. And I have talked
The
enough
church is not the
about-
final word on God.
Yes?
Did she disapprove? I'm...
Well, here I am. What is meant by someone like me?
A beautiful, charming woman like yourself. Can that make
And
up
there
for
were
this
no
approval?
beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister. All of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique.
Ooh.
Because then, they were forbidden. And forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
Damn. Okay. What about your fruit? Is it a forbidden? No, that is so sleazy, though. Like, I see what she's getting at, but...
Flatterer. I, however, did not take vows, and so perhaps I am not as enigmatic.
Ooh.
The chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed.
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken. I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
All right, well, a little approval, so maybe it makes up for, I think we just bounced out to, like, all the bad conversations.
Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Any stories about Orlais?
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
Go ahead.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
I saw that coming. Continue.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms. let alone compete in the grand tourney. But Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Go on.
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Wow, sore loser. I was hoping for a happy ending.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death.
Well, that's
and
something.
To this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Anything about
Lore
Darkspawn?
says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Tell me about Aveline again.
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Have you met Morrigan? Flemeth. Morrigan's mother was called Flemeth.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
Yes, actually. She didn't really introduce herself as such.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you. Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
The plot thickens.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes.
Well,
They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle. there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many chastened men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Korcari wilds. Which one? I have heard a little about.
Sorry, it's
how
like
the
maybe
elves gained
maybe
their
some of that's
freedom
true for
from
our
the
Flemeth.
Tevinter
It just
Imperium.
depends.
When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium.
You know, okay,
the
this is
elves
interesting and all,
joined
but
her
boy,
cause
this
to
is a
fight their
long time of
masters.
just a
The
lore
great
dump.
elven leader,
At least.
Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own. The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a holy exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of
Sorry,
the
this
Dales,
is
the
it's
elven
interesting, but it's
forces
also
were
just like, okay,
and
we've
the
been
elven
staring
state
at
completely
the same
dissolved.
model at different
Some
angles
of
for
the
like
elves
20,
bitterly
30 minutes,
accepted their
and
fate
no
surrendered to human
no
rule,
like
living in
animated
the
speech
human
or
cities as
movement.
second-class citizens. But others,
Ugh.
still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish. Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured
Sorry.
him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker. Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hysarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
Alrighty.
I have thought on this too. Did he withdraw his sight from her at that moment? Where were all the powers he bestowed upon her? This question has come to me many times, and I have no answer. Perhaps there was no way for Andraste to return to the Maker but through her death. We will never know for sure.
Alright. Liliana proves. Okay, we got a little bit more favor with her, talking to her
Yes?
about her various
Something
stories and just listening to her. Okay, sorry, it's like interesting lore dump and like getting to just talk to her, but it's like, oh my god, that was a lot. That was like 20, 30 minutes of just her. We got 3 more people to talk to.
What do you need? Ask away. Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
Have you hunted many mages?
No, I never actually became a full Templar. Duncan recruited me before I took my vows. I was only present during one harrowing. The ritual that they test the mages with. It's not unlike our joining, really. And just as deadly. The girl they tested, she had a demon put inside her to see if she could resist. And she couldn't. We had to end it quickly. I have to say I didn't have much interest in becoming a Templar after that. You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit.
I was gonna say, is that why?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together. Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows.
I was gonna
You don't
say.
need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective. Or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away, either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me. What do you need? Ask away.
Well, wait,
What do you
hold on.
need? Ask away. I suppose I could. But I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word.
I'll respect your word.
Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all.
Fair. Alistair approves.
Why are we stopping? There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
You were in the cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight. No.
Okay. Please?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Jesus. Okay. You said you were in the army. A little hostile, aren't we?
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were indeed hostile, you would be bleeding. I am. I have always fought in war, human.
What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
Something, right?
We do now.
Where did you come from before? Who were you fighting?
Somewhere else.
Can you be more specific?
No. I was born in Seheron. Of the land we came from, I know nothing, not even its name. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate. What a strange language you speak. You say hurry, where I would say duty.
It's not your duty to handle the blight, though.
No, it is yours, and you are chatting with me instead. As you wish.
Well, I guess we increased
Yes.
it a little bit.
Sitting, as you observed. It's what you asked.
Are you going to answer my question?
I did. Parshera, was there anything else? Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised.
Why did you come for
To
Alden?
answer a question.
What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here. The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
Okay, interesting.
Kunari have no kings.
Like dragons, they would have queens. Never mind. What do you...
Little patience for endless questions.
Honestly, compared to everything, I'm appreciating the blunt simplicity.
Why do you? Do you think the Kunari live on some other world, then? Yes. Never. I cannot go home.
Why not?
It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
Aw, I wasn't trying to make you mad. I was just curious, buddy. Okay, I do not remember doing anything with Sten. Again, that is something we'll have to talk about. Alright, let's talk to Morgan real quick. Then we'll wrap up. A lot of, we can spend a
What do you
whole...
wish of me? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you. Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
Do you want to leave?
If I wanted to leave, then I would go. I remain, so do not ask such pointless questions. What
Jesus.
do you wish of me?
I'm just... Okay.
If you must.
Everyone's so touchy. I'm just like, well, I'm just like, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this? And like, don't you ask me a question about me ever. It is a contrast. Like, okay, everyone's got their personal quips and they're just like, we're working on it together. I'm just like, man, it's so hostile. I thought we were getting along. We're traveling companions. We got a world to save. Let's get along here, man. Okay, we'll wrap up here for right now. Like Alistair and Morgan have a lot to talk about, but we'll figure this out later. We'll wrap up here for right now. Next time we continue, we will carry on and just... I paused there, but yeah, we will carry on and see where we're at. So, until next time, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe and all that. This is Timmara, signing off.